Okay. So there's so many different things I want to say. I want to close the door. I want privacy. There's so many things that are like causing me to question myself in so many different places in my life. So yesterday, it's like the whole situation was odd. Everything about it was like odd. It was like, I don't know, it felt like part of me, there was so many different aspects to it. So many different ways of looking at it. Ugh, my nose. And so many different storylines happening on the same thing, from the same thing. Like, I'm totally questioning myself. I'm like in pain again. So I kind of feel like I need to tell about the situation. So ever since that shamanic ceremony, ever since last Friday, now it's Saturday, ever since last Friday, we've seen each other every day. I think it was every day. Maybe there was one day that we didn't, but I think it was every day. And it's always under some kind of, pretense. It's always under some kind of reasoning. It's never just, it's always under some kind of reasoning. But it's really fun. And and then we took that trip, and that was a really fun day. It was like, it felt like it energetically like a celebration or something. Like, and now I feel like a chapter is closed and there's a whole new chapter. And it's a different ball game. And on the one side, I feel just like sorrow, just like pain. And then I have the side of me that says, okay, this is where I'm growing. These are the places where I'm growing and able to just let go. Let go of any kind of expectation. And then there's all sorts of questions in me if I'm attractive or about my femininity, even about my age. And that's surprising to me because I wasn't expecting to ever have any kind of issues with that. And I don't really, but I can feel what it feels like to question that. So yesterday it was just really odd. It's like everything led up to a pinhead. Like everything of the day was kind of weird and odd. And it all led up to like this climax. And I was also off. Like, I see the places that I was off. And then I question if I have to tell the story. Okay, so my twin flame and I set up to meet yesterday to meet at the beach. He went to pick up his son and his mother, and we set up to meet at the beach. And then we would go together to the Rob Roy, in two separate cars. And so we met at the beach, and it was like a comedy there. There were people listening to trance music, and it was funny. And then they got there after me. And then I was sitting with his mother, and he started talking with somebody that was visiting the country, a woman, attractive, beautiful woman. And anyway, somehow it worked out that she was going to come with us to the Rob Roy. And see, I feel like I'm telling too much personal things. Anyway, it ended up at the very end, that his mother came with me in the car, and he went with her and his son in his car. And then at the very end of the day, he ended up feeling and rightfully so, that neither his mother or me are really wanting his best interest. And he said that him and I are never going to be in a relationship. He said it to his mother, in front of me and in front of his son. That him and I are never going to be a couple. And if he said it in front of his mother and his son, then it's true. And that means that I really, really do need to let go and surrender. He's never said that until now. I've asked him to tell me that. And he said to me, when I asked him to tell me that, so that it's better to have something like that just out. And I asked him probably, maybe not a year ago, but a long time ago, I asked him to just tell me that so I could hear it. And he wouldn't. He said that I'm trying to make him do a magic trick so that I don't have to do the work of letting go, I guess. So I have all these different sides in me. I have the side of I feel like I have a side of me that is kind of, I'm mad at myself for letting myself, like, get this far in. I'm mad at myself for not listening. He's always said the same thing. Why would I leave hope? There's no reason for me to doubt what he says. He always speaks truth as far as I can see. So why would this be any different? He's never acted any different than that. Then we have a really close bond and friendship, and we feel like we're family. I feel like he's my family, and he feels like I'm his. And I still feel like that. And then I start feeling like what is the best, like what do I do from here? And then I just say, okay, I'm just gonna let it be and see what happens. And really, really, really just let go. This morning I was feeling like I'm a bubble. That I have my own, I'm my own person, I have my own bubble. And that I can just close it off. I feel like I'm not even at a place right now for any kind of solutions or resolutions or saying what's going to be or coming to any kind of assumptions or any kind of solutions or and I'm certainly not going to be harsh with myself because I just need to go through this. And then I started thinking about, okay, but you want a partnership in your life. You do. So to start, I don't know. I'm just going to let things take their course. And I have a side of me that says, okay, this is all for your higher good. This is still, and a side of me questioning if I'm like making up stories in my head and like funky, making things up in my head. And then I have a place that says, well, there's all these different storylines going on. So there's this storyline and the storyline and the storyline and the storyline. And which reinforces the place where you come into the quiet is when you come into the now. All of the storylines combine into one moment, which is now, and whatever happens, happens. So that's kind of like also enlightenment. So all of the roads are closing in on me. I feel like towards all of a sudden the birds chirp really loud. I feel like it's getting to where it's so much noise that I want to run, but there's nowhere to run to. You can't run away from yourself. So I have to go through it. I have to just take that energy. I need to just like face it and overcome it. And he's, just going to be an allowance. He can do what he wants. He can, just what kind of love is trying to hold somebody in place into something that I want. At the same time, it's also, I guess, a gift because it's helping me, if everything was easy, then I would still be where I was a year ago. And where I am now is, and I'm still going through this and overcoming this. When I overcome it, and I know I will because of everything that I've overcome in the past, I just have to believe and reach for it. When I overcome this, I'll be that much stronger. And isn't that what this whole journey is about, is this individual spiritual awakening? It's amazing how high you can fly one day and the next day it's like you're crashing. And I feel like it's because I allow something outside of me to move me. And that is the ego. And yet still, I feel the pain. Even with knowing that, I still can't, I'm still reaching for it emotionally. That letting go of the pain, because if there wasn't expectation, which expectation is trying to force things into the way that my ego wants them to be. It's not adjusting myself to what is. Okay, this is what is. He's a really cool person that I want in my life and that I care about and that is fun for me to watch doing his thing because he's funky. And try to figure out, like, it's always something different. It's like, try to pick up on a rhyme or a reason, and it's always like moving around. It's always like funky. I enjoy watching it. It's like intriguing. And I genuinely care for him. And I also see the place of like, I'm a witness for him, a witness of his life. I'm there throughout, witnessing. And he is also for me, which is important. You have somebody there that actually knows what's going on with you. So that's where I am right now. And I feel like I just want to go inward for a little bit. Maybe focus on my work and focus on